Need for Speed had spent nearly 10 years doing the same thing. Exotic cars, scenic roads, police chases, occasionally an obsession with Porsche, and then, in 2001, a small independent art film called Fast and Furious came out and changed car culture forever. 2 years later, EA looked at this rapidly growing tuner scene, looked at their franchise about million-dollar supercars being chased through the countryside, and said, "Yep, it's time for this now." And somehow, against all odds, it worked out magnificently well for them. Released in 2003, Need for Speed Underground was a complete reinvention of the series. The Ferraris were gone, the Lamborghinis were gone, the police were gone. Instead, you got a Dodge Neon. For the first time, Need for Speed wasn't about driving somebody else's dream car, it was about building your own. And people absolutely lost their minds. Underground dropped players into Olympic City, a fictional urban playground permanently trapped somewhere between midnight and 3 a.m. Every race took place at night, every car had underglow, every menu had a soundtrack straight out of the early 2000s. It was perfect. The game featured over 100 events spread across circuit races, sprints, drags, and the series' first proper drift mode. But let's be honest, nobody bought Underground because they were excited about the sprint races. They bought it because you could spend 2 hours turning a Mitsubishi Eclipse into the physical manifestation of a Mountain Dew commercial. Customization was the real star. Body kits, spoilers, vinyls, paint, performance upgrades. If it could be modified, Underground would probably let you do it. And in 2003, that was pretty revolutionary. The game also introduced a structured career mode complete with sponsors, magazine covers, and a progression system that made every new upgrade feel quite meaningful. Combined with a licensed soundtrack and some genuinely impressive visuals, Underground created an atmosphere unlike anything the series had attempted before. And honestly, it still has one of the strongest identities in racing game history. Of course, it wasn't perfect. The rubber band AI could be absolutely psychotic, track layouts were reused constantly, and by the end of the career mode you'll have driven through the same intersections enough times to qualify as a local resident. But none of that really mattered, because Need for Speed Underground wasn't trying to be realistic. It wasn't trying to be subtle. It wasn't even trying to be the old Need for Speed. It was trying to capture a moment in car culture, and it succeeded so hard that the entire franchise abandoned everything it had been doing for the previous 9 years. Need for Speed Underground wasn't just another sequel, it was a complete identity crisis, and it turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to the series. Next time, we'll be looking at Need for Speed Underground 2, a game that somehow decided that the solution to Underground was simply more.